All right, we're live. We're live. We're live. Let me just get something real quick. Get something real quick. Uh, Josh, little guy. Yo, what's good, bro? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? Oh man, I actually wasn't planning on streaming today, but I'm like, bro, there's been a lot of talk these last couple of days, a lot of talk even today, a lot of news coming out. So I just want to go over a lot of this stuff right now, brother. So I just want to talk some ball for with you guys, talk some football, talk some expectations for the games coming up as well. Just do our thing, do what we need to do as a community, as a footballing community, as a Barca community. We're gonna get into it today. It's gonna be a little short stream, maybe like a little hour, but yeah, we got a couple things to talk about for sure. Let me just find something real quick. Doing terrible. Doing terrible? What is Barca performance? Well, that's what we're gonna get into, bro. That's what we're gonna get into. A lot of things to talk about in this stream right now, bro. A lot of things considering our injury crisis, man. The injury crisis so far. Um, how Barcelona are looking right now. The future, because a lot of games they're coming up. A lot of important games. We got a lot of things going on right now, bro. So that's what we're gonna get into. That's what we're gonna get into right now. So I think the first thing we should start with is injuries. I think this is the main part that we should definitely start with. So this came out just recently. So I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to all the people on Twitter, because Twitter, there's a lot of news everywhere, right? But if there's one guy that I could rely on, or at least I have some type of faith in, is my boy Rashad Rahman. This is the guy that I mostly look into when it comes to news. Again, I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying any reporter out there is perfect. There's no reporter out there that's perfect that gives you 100% correct news. But if there's some guy who I can rely on that at least gives out some reliable sources, is this guy right here. So I've been following a couple of tweets that he's been making so far. So let's go over some of them. When is Joan Garcia coming back? The last news I saw about Joan Garcia was that he's going to be back maybe for either this weekend or for Club Bruges. I think that's what I was looking at. But man, again, it's just so hard it's so hard to like even trust any of these news. Like this one is difficult for me to trust as well. So apparently, Justin Lamine Yamal is working hard to get back in form and recover his best self. The locker room sees how he wants to redeem himself after not being 100% fit in the Clásico all week. He's trained at an incredible level and followed a specific plan. All right. Whenever I see this right here, whenever I see the locker room sees that he wants to redeem himself. When I see things like that being said, the locker room, I'm like, yo, who is this guy? Roger Torello. This guy is apparently the guy reporting it. How do you know what's going on in the locker room? The only way he can know is obviously if he has a close friend in the locker room that's giving him information that is telling him, yo, we feel like Lamine. He's getting ready, like he's getting amped up. He's preparing himself for these next couple games, which okay, that could definitely be a source, but I just find it hard to believe. I'm sure Lamine is definitely working hard because that's one thing he definitely has to work hard on because of his injury that he has, which is what was Lamine's injury? It was like let me see. It was a weird injury. It was apparently an injury that what's his name? This right here. Pubgla pub pub ala pub 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 pubgia pubgia. Barca reason terrible playing terrible. 1 Yamal ego. 2 injuries. 3 defense. Yeah, I would agree with those. Yamal ego. I would combine Yamal ego with him not being 100% because apparently this injury that he has right now, this Poglia, I don't know how to say it, Poglia, however the hell you say that. Apparently he's been dealing with this injury for a while now, and apparently he needs surgery to make this injury get better. And also, apparently, Lionel Messi is another player who suffered with this injury throughout his career. That I think he came out saying that it affected him. It definitely affected him. He had to change his game a lot. And apparently, it's like let's see if we can like pop up. Let me see. I think it's like in the groin area, and it definitely affects your the way that you. I think I spelled that right. No, not that. Jesus. Just copy and paste. But apparently this injury has definitely affected Lamine for a little bit now, and that's why he's not been 100%. And that's why when everyone was saying like, "Yo, Lamine Yamal is like all the memes that were coming out about Lamine, oh yo, his pussy hurts." It's because of this right here. So whatever this injury is right here, this is apparently the area that is affecting him right there, which is I can understand because that would affect his game. That would make it difficult for him because of course this is like, this holds a lot of momentum of how you change, you change directions, how you do different types of skills, how you even kick the ball. You're using this area a lot, right? They're using this area a lot, and I can understand that it hurts him if it is something serious, right? So apparently there's been news that coming out that he wants to get a surgery, or that they recommended that he gets a surgery to fix this problem. Now, what I've seen is that if he does get the surgery, that means Lamine Yamal will approximately be out for a couple months. I think 3 to 4 months is what I saw. What I read, I read it in a random tweet. I forgot who tweeted it. I should have done my research to find who tweeted that. But apparently that was the case, that he could be out for 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months. That's a long time. When you look at our schedule, let's say if he got the surgery tomorrow. Let's say like Lamine Yamal decided, hey, let me just get the surgery tomorrow, because I think one of the main reasons he'll have doubts is because we all know the World Cup, right? That's clearly the main reason that he would probably not want to take it, because he wants to be as ready as possible to play for that game, for the World Cup. So that's probably why. But let's say 3 months. We're into November, right? So he'll be missing a whole of these games right here in November, which, I mean, for the squad that we have, most of these games we should be winning. Chelsea obviously being the most difficult one. Celta Vigo being a difficult one too. Away, Celta Vigo. Atletico haven't been the best so far this season, so we should be able to beat them. Deportivo Alaves again. And then December time, Atletico Madrid at home, which Atletico tend to give us a difficult game as well. All these games as well, he'll be missing a lot in important La Liga games. Real Betis away. Osasuna, Osasuna was the only team they really like destroyed us last season, but that also came to other factors. Villarreal, who've been on fire this season, we got to go away to them now that we're not having the game in Miami anymore. Espanyol, Athletic Club, look at all these games that he'd be missing. And we're also not counting the Supercopa, where the Supercopa will be played right here in January 7th, and then I'm pretty sure, because January 7th, I'm pretty sure is let me check. What day is January 7th? It should, like, I'm pretty sure that weekend it should be the final of so January 7th is a Wednesday. So then that weekend, the final of the Supercopa de España, where obviously the Supercopa de España comes down to Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atlético Madrid, right? So that weekend we'll be playing the Supercopa de España. So Lamine Yamal will be missing, if he gets that surgery, he'd be missing many important games. Again, 3 months. So let's jack in. We're jacking November, December, January, all of January as well. Let's see, right here, all the way to the 28th. Again, when you look at the schedule, most of these games, Barcelona, with the team that they have, they should be winning, right? Realistically, we're thinking, hey, we're still Barcelona. We shouldn't have to depend on one player, right? But it's also a matter of how important Lamine Yamal is to us, how we know how important Lamine is to us to win these games. So, and obviously a difference maker, right? And at the same time, we have to rely on youngsters now. We'd have to rely on a lot of different things, which we're going to get into in a second as well. But Lamine Yamal will be missing a lot of key games, a lot of important games, right? So if Lamine Yamal decides to get that surgery, which the latest reports that I've seen as of recent, I think I saw it yesterday, Lamine isn't considering it. He's not considering taking that surgery, which again, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, because he's focusing on the World Cup as much as for Barcelona as well. He wants to play that World Cup. So if he wants to play that World Cup, being injured, being out with the surgery for 3 months, recovering, and then probably another couple weeks of recovering as well from the surgery, yeah, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while, right? And then we also have to consider, let's say Barcelona survive all these months without Lamine Yamal. Are we still going to be competing for all the trophies? Are we still competing for the highest level? Bro, we have Rashford, and Rashford versus Premier League teams is a day where he humbles the whole stadium. Listen, Marcus Rashford. I gave my opinions on Marcus Rashford before we signed him. Great talent. We all know how great of a talent he is. Now, my expectations in crunch time with him, that's my doubts that I have with him, right? Because as of recent, has he really shown it? As of recent, has he really shown it? Because last year he played at Aston Villa. All right, against PSG, he had a great game, for sure. But it's obviously not the highest level, right? Marcus Rashford for these last couple years hasn't played at the highest level, hasn't looked the best these last couple years, right? I understand, new environment, a better team with Barcelona, a lot of things can change. But I still have some doubts that with him as well, right? These next couple games that he plays, I need to see a little bit more from Marcus Rashford to be really convinced with him. Because right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing from Marcus Rashford. I'm liking the energy that he gives. I'm liking that he looks more confident than before. But I still need to see more. I still need to see more. I'm not fully convinced with him yet. So hopefully, these next couple games where we're going to heavily have to rely on him, he steps up, right? Because I don't know if let's see what's the predicted. I'm guessing they're putting Lamine to play for this game, right? But this is the question that we must ask ourselves. Like, if Lamine is having these problems and the board knows it and Hansi Flick knows it and the medical team knows it, should we really be forcing him to play? Shouldn't we wait a little bit? I understand we need to win these games. We need Lamine Yamal to play because Rafinha, who knows when he's coming back? I have not seen a single ounce of news of Rafinha coming back anytime soon. Who knows when he's coming back? Rooney, hey, he's a talent, but come on, guys. Like, can we really say we can trust Rooney to step up for all these games on a consistent basis in his first year for Barcelona? Like, he would have to be like a revelation out of nowhere. Like, wow, we should have been trusting this guy. We see the talent, right? We see that he's capable. We see he got something in him. But then to trust him for a long period of time, or for the next couple of games, that's the main concerns that I'm having, right? But when you look at the whole team in general, I don't know why Pedri's even in this. I don't know why they're suggesting he's not playing this game. When you look at the whole team in general, we still have a lot of positives, right? A team that should be competing. Once everyone comes back from injury, Barca is going to be terrorizing everyone. Yeah, that's what I expect as well. You know, that's why any sort of doubts for Hansi Flick, I'm not hearing it right now. I'm not hearing any type of doubts for Hansi Flick. I don't want to hear any of that because ultimately Hansi Flick has had to deal with a lot of things. Again, we can definitely judge him for having him making mistakes. He's definitely made mistakes. No one can question that. He's made mistakes. Again, we can judge him on, hey, he's maybe too stubborn for the high line. Maybe he needs to change things up. Maybe he needs to drop back a little bit more. Maybe he needs to bench one of these players like Jules Koundé, who's had a terrible season so far. We can judge him on a lot of these things. But when you're dealing with an injury crisis, when you're dealing with certain players like Jules Koundé who aren't stepping up, Lamine Yamal, let's be honest, this season he hasn't looked the best anywhere near. Ferran, he started off kind of strong, but before his injury, hadn't looked the best. Dani Olmo playing terrible. Rafinha not being 100%. A lot of these players aren't 100% like they were last season. And now the major question mark is Pedri Gonzalez. Pedri Gonzalez is out for approximately 2 months. I don't know why. I don't know why I went on his Twitter. I just wanted to search up Pedri. Let's put it Pedri. I'm starting. I'm seeing news of Pedri eventually. Look at this, bro. Look how sensational this generational talent is. Look how great he is. But like I said, Pedri's gonna be out for a couple months. He's gonna be out for a couple months. Apparently, he's going to be out for at least 2 months. At least. Minimum. I think I've also seen news that he might come back before. But then, again, same thing. Considering he comes back, got to give him time to come back, to adjust. Boom. It'll probably take 2 months. And again, he'll be missing quite a bit of games as well. Let me see if Rashad has posted anything recently about him. Oh my God, no, 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 no. Oh my God, no. Ter statue has begun training on grass. Oh my God. Take him back to the gym. Take him back to the gym. I don't want to see that. But let's see what Rashad recently posted about. So this is the first one that came out. As it stands, they're estimating Pedri's going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks. But again, I saw other news saying that hey, he's going to be out for 7 to 8 weeks, which is 2 months. So again, I don't believe this. I don't believe it's going to be 4 to 5 weeks. I think he'll be a little bit longer, maybe 6, maybe 7 weeks. But again, when it comes to all these news about injuries, they're all lies. They're at the end of the day, they're all lies. They've been lies all season. So far, it's been lies all season. Rafinha's gonna come back for a Clásico. He's not back yet. John Garcia might come back for a Clásico. He's not back yet. I'm gonna go. My sister is in the hospital. Oh shit. All right, bro. Prayers to your sister. Hopefully everything is well. But thank you for chatting with me a little bit, bro. Much love, much love. But like I said, overall, we can't trust these news. We can't trust the news. We can't trust any type of news than saying, oh, look, they're coming back this time, this week. No, we can't trust any of that bullshit. I'm not falling for it again. Rafinha's not back. John Garcia's not back. Lewandowski apparently is going to come back. John Garcia and Lewandowski are apparently going to come back soon. Maybe for Elche, probably not for Elche because we would have gotten news that they're back for that. So maybe against, we play Club Brugge on the week. We play Club Brugge in the week, and we play Celta Vigo. So they might come back. John Garcia and Lewandowski might come back for one of these games. Definitely not for Elche. But man, considering our luck this season, what's going to surprise us that they might not get injured again? Is there any surprises that we might hear the next following week after they get a playing time? Oh, look, re-injured. They're injured again. It's happened with Lamine already. It's happened with I think it happened with Rafinha. I'm not mistaken. Lewa's injury was stupid because he felt discomfort during the game with Poland and he decided to continue playing. Like that's just irresponsible from him. And then he got injured, so it's on him. But overall, it's a matter of like, these injuries have been killing us so far this season, and any type of news that they say they'll be back during a specific time frame, we can't really believe. So I don't believe this in the slightest. I think he'll be out longer. Hopefully not. But man, considering how many minutes has Pedri played at this point, bro? He has played a lot, man, so far this season. I'm pretty sure they should say it on this. 848 minutes played. Jeez. That's in 25-26 season. So he's played every single game. I don't think he's been benched any single game. So let's divide that by 90 minutes, right? Of course, there's no extra time and all that stuff, but let's divide it by 90 minutes. Oh yeah, basically, yeah, he's played every single game because we played 10 stars. I don't know why I'm doing the math. It says it right here. 10 stars, 10 matches, 10 stars, right? He's played every single game, every single minute. It's insane. I don't know why I was trying to do math there, but yeah, it says it right here. 10 matches, 10 games, right? So it's insane. It's generally crazy. We've been killing Pedri. Not since this season, not since last season. Since he's joined Barcelona, we've been killing Pedri. Hopefully, man. This is what I'm terrified of. That we get another injury crisis for Pedri, where he goes out, he gets injured once, he comes back, he gets injured again, he comes back, gets injured again. Because that's been the story of Pedri Gonzalez since joining Barcelona. Injury after injury after injury, and I'm scared that it's going to happen again. Because if we lose Pedri Gonzalez, we are absolutely cooked. Because we all understand that Pedri is a fundamental part to Hansi Flick, bro. Hey, worst October I am having. Yeah, man. It's Halloween today. Cheers. But, nah, yeah. I mean, if hopefully you're talking about Barcelona and not anything personal, hopefully. But if you're talking about Barcelona, 100%. This is what the worst October. Literally compare. Let's compare, bro. Let's compare last October to this October. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Let's just compare it real quick, man. Look how happy we were a year ago today. Look how happy we were. Look at October 1st. Look at all these wins. Oh my God, bro. Look at all 5-0, 3-0, 5-1, 4-1, 4. Oh my God, bro. That was 1 year ago today. Well, not today, but a year ago in this month. On this month with Hansi Flick. Look at all these wins we've gotten. Cooking two great teams right here. Getting all these, bro. And look at this, bro. It's tragic, man. And then look at us now. Look at us now, man. We're cooked. Where are we? I found that my friend lost his dad. I'm still coping with the memories of 23 and 24. I try to forget. Barca losing this month and me losing money and the chance of employment. We had it all and now it's gone. Damn, man. Sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah, I found out today a family member of a close friend also passed away. But so all I can say is send prayers for sure. If you believe, send a little prayer. Just hopefully guys taking them in their reign and they're doing better in the other world. But hey, bro, life hits us, and hopefully we just gotta stand back up, fight back, and get back on the grind. Do what you need to do to go back, bro. But we always hear it. We a community. We link up. We speak. We talk. We gotta let our feelings out. We let our feelings out, man. Like I'm letting my feelings out at the Barcelona complete dog shit so far this season, bro. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, everything is better for you, my bro. Everything is better. But going back to Barcelona now. We got Elche tomorrow or Sunday. We had Elche Saturday on Sunday. Where are Elche? I don't know shit about Elche so far this season. Where are they? They're ninth. Nice. Ninth. Not bad. 3 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses. How is their away form this season so far? All right. They lost away. They won away. But that's a Copa del Rey, so I'm not counting that. They lost away. They tied away. They tied away. They tied away. All right, so there's shit going away. All right, so most of their drop points have been coming away. Now they're playing Barcelona, who might change that. It might give them a win. But honestly, when it comes to Elche, let's be honest. Like we realistically should be beating them. I don't care if we're missing Pedri. I don't care if Lamine gets rested for this game. We should be beating them, guys. Like as much as like we're not in the best form. Like the positives that I can take from this season. That's why I've seen a lot of people overreact, like saying sack Hansi Flick and all these things. Is that we're only 5 points away from Madrid. Hopefully Madrid will drop points eventually. They play Valencia next. Who are they playing away or home? Oh, they're playing fucking home. Fuck. If they were playing away, I'd be like, all right, they might drop points there because they usually drop points over there. But all right, they're playing at home, so most likely they're gonna win. But hopefully Valencia give them a game. Who knows? But listen, we're only 5 points away. We're still in it. In the Champions League, we're 2 wins, 1 loss. 2 wins, 1 loss. We're still in it. We're chilling. We're chilling in the Champions League, right? I think it's the Champions League table. Of course, I have to click on the PSG game. Like, we're 9th. Like, we're literally outside of top 8. Now, it's definitely going to come down to, because realistically, all the other games that we're playing Frankfurt. Who else are we playing? We're playing Frankfurt, Club Brugge, obviously Chelsea. Realistically, all these other games, we should be winning, guys. We shouldn't have a problem with these games. Without Lamine Yamal, without a Pedri, we shouldn't have a problem winning those games. Now, the only ones that I think will give us a problem is maybe, of course, Chelsea away, and maybe a little Frankfurt might give us a problem. I doubt it, though. I saw them play against Atletico Madrid, and they were awful, so we should, again, be beating them. But the thing is, the problem with Barcelona is that we say that we realistically should be beating them, but it's just a matter of a lot of teams play the same way against us. They know how to play against us. That's the question marks and that we have with Hansi Flick. That's the problem that we have currently with Hansi Flick, is that many teams already know how to play us. It's either 2 motives. It's either they park the bus, hit us on counterattacks, because we've been vulnerable this season, especially with our pressing. If they get away from it, we're vulnerable. Or press us like madmen, give us problems, and then boom, attack us, right? But it's mostly a matter of like, park the bus, be very resilient in the back, mid block, low block, and then hit us on counterattacks, right? Because of course with the high line, that's the main strategies that you want to play, right? So it's a matter of, look, we gotta fix up on this. We gotta fix up on those problems. But at the same time, we've been playing teams in that kind of manner and gotten away with it, right? We like with Girona, with Mallorca, Levante, Getafe, even at points, Real Oviedo. We played like this against multiple teams already and gotten results. The games that we've lost this season, PSG and Real Madrid, obviously those are two tough games. So it's a matter of like, it wasn't a guarantee that Barcelona were 100% going to win those games. And then Sevilla, this was the most embarrassing one. We did this; they just completely caught us off guard, and of course it could have been a difference maker if Lewandowski obviously took his penalty. It could have been a difference maker for sure. I think if we scored that penalty, it would have been a completely different game. But this was really, when we look at it, this was the only game where we just completely got embarrassed against PSG and against Madrid. I don't care what anyone says. Against Madrid, they've only been 1-0 losses, basically. They haven't been devastating losses where we got completely destroyed. Yes, you can call it in terms of footballing factors. You can say, yes, we got cooked. Yes, they got the better of us, for sure. I can agree with that. But when it comes to the actual scoreline, considering how bad we've been this season so far, like, yeah, I'm concerned at times that we're a little bit too stubborn, but I'm also not entirely worried. We got things to improve, right? So the fact that we're still in this season, we're still in all the competitions, we're chilling, and we're not looking great. When everyone comes back, when Hansi Flick fixes up, and certain individuals fix up as well, then look, I can't imagine what we're gonna look like. But hey, but I can understand people's concerns though, right? I can still understand people's concerns. But now again, going back to Pedri again being out minimum 2 to 3 months, let's say, not 3 months. I'm bugging. I'm taking it too far. 2 months, let's say max 2 months. He's out. He's gonna be missing all of November and all of December. So the main two games from those 2 months are going to be, and of course, there's also an international break as well. So there's a week of or 2 weeks, one of those, that where we'll have international breaks. I think it's 2 weeks of international break. So hey, during that time he wouldn't even have to be playing. But thankfully, I guess this is a blessing in disguise because he's injured. Because now look at it, like he will get called up by De La Fuente and start playing even more minutes, right? So there's international breaks. In November, the biggest game is against Chelsea, and then the biggest game in December is against Atletico Madrid, right? So those are two games that we really have to focus on and try to get a result in. Chelsea, I'm looking at as difficult, and Atletico too. Like those are going to be two difficult games. I've been talking my shit all season so far with Atletico Madrid, but again, Atletico Madrid last season were definitely one of the teams that gave us problems. We got in the better of them most games. They beat us only once last season, from a stupid mistake from Barcelona, but this season they can definitely catch us a lot more than what they did last season, considering how bad our high line has been. So hopefully we fix up by the time we get to December, but those are two tough games, right? That Pedri will most likely be 100% missing. I think Chelsea's, we can guarantee that Pedri won't be there. Atletico Madrid, we can maybe have some doubts. Maybe we'll see him. Maybe it's a big maybe, but I'm not too confident with him being there either. So, but Chelsea, I can definitely just scratch him out that he's not going to be there. So, this is a tough situation for Hansi Flick because basically all of last season, we finally, like, this was the one main topic that every single Barcelona fan was talking about, is that finally, for once in our lives, we have Pedri in a full season. Finally, we have Pedri for a full season. After such a long time, we finally have Pedri for a full season. And it was in Hansi Flick's first season. So Hansi Flick, he juiced him. He juiced Pedri. I think Pedri maybe missed like one game or two games, because I know he had like a little knock here and there, but it wasn't something major where he was out for a long time, right? So Hansi Flick juiced him last season. Like he used them a lot last season. So now he's going into a whole different thing where he doesn't have Pedri Gonzalez available. And that's going to be something very interesting and a bit concerning to look at for these next couple, for this next month or two, because damn, what is Hansi Flick ball going to look like without Pedri? Because we have not seen Hansi Flick ball without Pedri. So it's gonna be interesting. I've already been seeing that a lot of people say, "Yo, Frankie, you got to step up," which I agree on. Frankie has to step up. Fermin has to step up when it comes to players on the bench. Maybe a little Bernal, a Casado. This is the main guy I'm looking at right here. This is the main guy that we gotta look at right here. Marc Casado has to step the fuck up these next couple games. He has to step up because he's the main guy now. He's the main guy going into the season. He's all we got at this point. So, Marc Casado, bro, I don't know what to tell you. You better take it up another level. You better wake up where you were last season, because we need that last season Casado to step the hell up next season. Listen, I've been a defender of Casado since the season began. For those that watched one of my videos I made with my boys, it was like a little Barca talk that we made before the season, talking about the season and everything. I was a defender of Casado, saying, hey, in the pecking order, obviously Pedri is number one, and Frankie is also number one in terms of who starts in those positions in the double pivot. But the number two after Frankie is Marc Casado. My friends were arguing with me that it's Gavi, right? And I can understand, because Gavi is a great player as well, but he's out for the next couple months. But I was saying Casado because of how great he was for us last season. He has that credit in the bank. Obviously, at one point he got injured and he was out, and after he came back from injury, some doubts for sure. But it's a matter of, look, he did great for us last season. He was amazing for us last season. He stepped up in the big moments against Bayern, against Madrid, against Borussia Dortmund, against Benfica. He stepped up in a lot of big games last season. So that's what we need from him now. We need him to step up. Marc Casado, again, he's been a guy I defended, and I want him to play, and these are the moments that we need to play. And of course, after we watched the Madrid game, a lot of people were questioning, saying, hey, maybe do we probably most likely need a center defensive mid? Do we need a person in the midfield who's going to be battling it for us, who's going to be that defensive player? And really, the only ones we got are Casado and Marc Bernal. But Marc Bernal, it's a matter of, hey, he's barely played for a reason. He hasn't played much for a reason. Like, Casado's played 308 minutes. How much has Bernal played? He's barely played. He's gotten like little minutes. He's played 10 minutes. Wow. He's only played 10 minutes. Well, that's crazy. Bernal's only played 10 minutes. And I don't have a problem with that, because he's just come back from injury. He just came back from an ACL injury. So we got to be careful with him. We had to be massively careful with him. We thought with Gavi, hey, look, Gavi, he had an ACL injury too. It took him a whole year to come back, right? Last year he got a little burn, but not enough. This year he got a little bit more burn, he got a little more playing time, and look, he gets injured. So we can't take that risk with Bernal, especially we see a bright future with him. It's tough. This is why this is such a tough situation, because if Bernal was fully fit and we knew he was ready to play, then boom, throw him in there, no problem, because he has talent. He's young, but he has talent. We saw it. But it's a matter right now, he just came back from injury. Do we want to take that risk with this guy? Do we really want to take that risk and then suffer another Gavi situation, suffer another Ansu Fati situation, where these young, great-looking players that look amazing on the field, they get injured, then we play them, then we play them, then we play them, and then boom, they never come back the same. And then boom, we get rid of another talented young player because we're so down bad in financials that we can't fucking invest. Because again, Deco's already come out saying that we're not making investments in December. We're not making investments in December, which is a low blow. A low blow when we know we need investments. We need to sign players. But hey, that's the situation that Hansi Flick has been having to deal with. And again, that's another reason why any of this talk of Hansi Flick out, I don't even want to hear it, because this is the situation that Hansi Flick has to deal with right now. So going into, let's quickly talk about what is the lineups that I'm guessing Hansi Flick is going to be going with from now into the future, considering the injuries that we currently have and considering the players that we are getting back eventually, right? So goalkeeper for right now has to be Szczesny, right? But again, John Garcia is coming back. So again, he might come back. I think it said. I think it said for Club Rouge or something like that. Let's see what it says. Let's see. What is this? Barcelona's return from FC Barcelona's backup keeper John backup keeper? Hell no. Backup keeper John Garcia, silent for over a month by a meniscus tear suffered in late December, has completed positive individual training sessions and can return for La Liga match against Celta Vigo on November 9th. The 24-year-old will miss upcoming games against Elche November 2nd in Club Brugge in the Champions League. All right, so we might be getting John Garcia back for Celta Vigo then, I guess. All right, so from right now, Chesney, right? But realistically, when we look at the players that are coming back, it is going to be Joan Garcia to go back to the number one. Now, let's search up any Rafinha news because, again, I have not seen anything. I have not seen anything with Rafinha. Any Rafinha news, bro? I don't give a fuck about a boo. When was this? October 22nd. All right, I guess he's. But that was before the Clásico. I don't trust this site for whatever. No, at all. I don't trust them. See, nothing, bro. There's no news of Rafinha. There's nothing of Rafinha that he'll be back, or when he's coming back. So like I don't know what to believe. And that's when he got injured. This is what did he had, or what did he have? Injury to the middle third of the femoral biceps in his right thigh. What the what is that? Hopefully I spelled that right. No. Femoral biceps of the right thigh. So his hamstring? They're so specific. Damn, a tear, bro. Let's put tear. Fuck. Let's put tear. How does a tear look like? Jesus. All this? No way. All right, whatever. Rafinha had something, right? He's out for a while, right? Or Rafinha's going to be out for a while. So, again, I don't know. But let's say for right now, John Garcia will be back. Here's the conversation that we got to have now. Here's the main conversation we got to have now. Is Hansi Flick going to stick with Jules Koundé, or is he going to go and switch back to Eric Garcia, who's played right back at the beginning of the season? That's the main question mark. We'll come back to that in a second. But left back clearly has to be Alejandro Balde, because Gerard Martin, hell no. One of the center backs has to be Kubarsi. And I'm not saying it because he's been excellent so far this season. I'm not saying it because of that. I'm saying it because Hansi Flick clearly loves the guy, clearly trusts the guy, clearly wants to continue playing the guy, so we're going to keep the guy. Now, his partner. This links up with who plays right back, right? Because, again, so far this season, this is why in the predicted lineup is coming up as Eddie Garcia starting. But so far this season, Eddie Garcia has been excellent. He's been great so far. Maybe in the Clásico he didn't do the best, but rewatching the Clásico, he did save us in moments. He did make some great tackles. He did make some great recoveries at points. So it's not like he had a disaster class either. Mbappe got through once. That's it. But what was the main problem? What was the main talk that we've had since the beginning of the season? That one video I made. Where I was talking about there's 3 players that I'm looking at for these next couple months. What are those 3 players? Dani Olmo, because he's been shit. Gerard Martin, because he's been nowhere near good enough, and Ronald Araujo. Those were the 3 players that I was looking at in these next couple months to see if they raise up and take their level to another level. Those are the 3 players, right? So, this is time for Araujo, right? This has to be time for Araujo to start stepping it up and start being the player that we thought that he's going to be. The player that we think he's going to be for this team, for FC Barcelona. I said it, this season, these next couple months are really going to determine a lot of how much confidence I'm going to have in this guy from now into the future. Because trust me, man, I have defended this guy for a long time now. I'm defending this guy. When everyone was killing him for the PSG game, when everyone was killing him last year for the Inter game, I was defending this guy for a very long time now. and my patience is getting there right there. Again, so far this season, he's pretty solid. The only game where he was poor was the Sevilla game. That was the only game where he was like poor, like you were like he was bad, right? But so far he's looked decent. But Hansi Flick, again, for some reasons, is another thing that we critique Hansi Flick in. He's been changing it up a lot in his back four. He's been going with Eric Garcia, Cubarsí, Christensen, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, Araujo. He's been changing it up practically all season. Is he doing it for a rotational thing? Because one part of our defense, where one part of our injury crisis where we haven't been affected so far in, is our defense, except for a goalkeeper, right? I mean, Eric Christensen is out now, but that's practically one part of our team where we haven't been really affected with injuries, right? So maybe that's why he's making rotations. But we all know he has to stick with two type of players. He has to stick with a back four, a solid back four. I'm sorry, I know we have a surplus of players. I know we have many players that we can rotate around. But considering our high line has been nowhere near high lining, we need to pick that back four. If we're going to continue with the system, we need to pick the back four that suits that back line, that suits the high line. Araujo has not shown that he's the greatest at dealing with it, right? But considering the great qualities that Araujo has, he has to learn. He has to learn. This is Hansi Flick's system. This is what he wants to play. Araujo has to get with the program. So Araujo has to start playing. I think I think he needs more consistent game time. I think he should be one of the guaranteed starters as well, alongside Pau Cubarsí at this point. And then this leads me to the right back, Jules Koundé or Eric Garcia. Now this is Man, I loved Koundé last season, bro. He was great for us. I love Koundé since we signed him. I thought Koundé. I mean, one of the main things going into the season. This is why I was frustrated with our board. This was frustrated with our transfer window. One of the main things was I wanted fullbacks. Not because I thought just Koundé was terrible last season, that no, he needs a replacement. No, because Koundé was great for us last season. I wanted fullbacks because eventually I wanted to see Koundé go back to his natural position, which is a center back, right? That's asking for a lot considering we have a lot of center backs as well. So him getting a guaranteed spot is not going to be guaranteed at all. But it's also a matter of like, hey, I want a proper right back as well. I want a proper fullback, right? We didn't do anything. We got it. If anything, we got rid of what we considered a proper right back with Hector Ford. I know a lot of people didn't like Hector Ford. I saw some talent in him. I didn't think he was that bad, but he obviously needed to go and develop. By the way, where is Hector? What is Hector Ford doing right now? Is he cooking at all? I know he's on loan to. I forgot what. Is he cooking right now? He's at Elche. Is he playing at all? 91 minutes played? Fucking hell, bro. You're not playing. 60. He's 6'1". All right, not bad. But has he been playing? Because if he's not playing, then what the hell's the point? He's had to play this game. He had to play this game, did he? All right, he played that game. Cool. 7.1 rating. What about Espanyol? Did he play against this? No, he did not. Wait. All right, so he didn't play. Did he play? Did he come off the bench? No. So he's not even getting the game time that we wanted this loan to work out for. So, I mean, who knows what could have happened with Hector Ford. But, again, I'd want to say, man, I might sound crazy, but, like, we all know what Jules Koundé is capable of, right? We all know what Jules Koundé once was for us, right? And I just feel like if we ever want him to get back to that level, he needs to play. Like I know I sound crazy in trying to say these things because he's not been good, but it's also a matter of like, hey, he needs to play. If he doesn't play, then how is he going to get better? Is he really going to get better just by trainings? No, he needs to play because all the things he's been shit at so far this season, I've been saying it's a matter of confidence. Because I don't think it's a matter of ability. We saw how great he was for us last season. So for me to say that it's a matter of ability, I think it's reaching. I think it's a matter of confidence, which I don't know why his confidence has dropped. Because the last good performance he's had was against Newcastle. And that's been a while now. So I don't know what it is with Jules Koundé. But I still have a gut feeling that Hansi Flick will continue trusting Jules Koundé as bad as he's been. Of course, that means we're leaving out Eric Garcia, who's been excellent so far this season, which sucks for him. But I think as much as Hansi Flick is stubborn with his high line, I think he's going to be stubborn and stick with favoritism in terms of what they offered last season, and I guess in what he sees in them, right? And I think he's gonna stick with Jules Koundé. I don't think he's gonna change him because, man, for me it's just a matter of like if we want this guy to get better, he needs to get more game time. Like if he starts killing us even further, where we're losing games because of him, we're not getting results because of him, then okay, we can have a serious conversation that okay, fully dropped, you don't deserve to get any more playing time. But I just have a feeling that Hansi Flick is just going to continue trusting Jules Koundé at this point. And man, it's hard to defend Jules Koundé right now. It's really hard to defend him, but I'm going to try to. He's been shit. Yes, he's been bad. No one's denying that at all in the slightest. But I'm going to stick with trusting Jules Koundé as well. I'm going to stick with him, trusting him and saying, hey, man, I know in my last video I said, baby, you'll have to get benched at this point. You'll have to get benched because you're not been great. But, man, I still see something in him. I still see something like you can get back to the level. And he needs that playing time to get back to the level. And I think Hansi Flick sees that as well, where he's going to continue to trust him. So if Hansi Flick will trust him, I'll trust him as well. I think Jules Koundé will stick back in there, right? But your time is limited, Jules Koundé. Your time is very limited because this fan base is very reactionary. Football is very reactionary. One game may be good, one game may be shit. Is not good enough for Barcelona. That's all I'm saying right there. But the double pivot, obviously, from now going forward, has to be Frenkie de Jong and Marc Casado. Not Marcus Rashford. Marc Casado, right? That has to be our double pivot, considering Pedri's out for the next roughly 2 months. All right. Like I mentioned with Casado, listen, buddy, you were great for us last season. You stepped up last season. I defended you going into the season that you need some burn. You need some game time as well because you deserve it of how great you were for last season, how great of a servant you were for Hansi Flick this last season. Now is your time to shine. Now is your time to shine. Everyone, again, was talking about after a Clásico, maybe we need a defensive midfielder in there. Hey, you're one of those defensive midfielders, considering Marc Penal is not going to be there all the time. So, it's your time to shine, Casado. It's your time to shine. And Frenkie de Jong, we're going to be asking a lot more from you, buddy. A lot more from you. A lot more for Frenkie de Jong. Because, Pedri is a big miss. Now we need Frenkie de Jong to fill in those shoes. The question is now, can he fill in those shoes? That's the big question mark right there. But we know what he's capable of. We know the talent that Frenkie de Jong is. So realistically, he should. Like, let's be honest, he should. Frenkie de Jong is a deep line playmaker. We know how great he is. He's confident collecting the ball. He's confident making the right passes. He's confident on the ball, under pressure. He's good. Like, we know Frenkie de Jong is a great talent, a great player, right? Now he has to do it on another level where he's gonna take a lot more responsibility now that Pedri's not there, because Casado dropping deep at times is a little bit concerning. He isn't the best, so Frenkie de Jong is gonna have to take on a lot more responsibility, dropping deep, collecting the ball, pushing us forward, being a lot more progressive, and at the same time he's gonna have to run his ass off as well, because that's one thing that Pedri has been doing all season long, is running his ass off. He ran a lot this season because of how bad we've been defensively, and then boom, Pedri has a tackle, back and forth. That's the job that Frenkie is gonna have to do now, practically, right? So, Frenkie de Jong, we're expecting big things from you. Fermin, obviously, up top. Yamal, for right now, Yamal, that's for sure. Rashford, and obviously Ferran now that he's back as well. So basically, this is the lineup that we're gonna be going with. I think this is the lineup that Hansi Flick will be going in for Elche. I think maybe the biggest change, or the only real, I mean, obviously not Joe Garcia. Not cause, I'm saying this is the lineup that Hansi Flick will be going up with in the future once John Garcia comes back, and this is the team that he'll trust going into the future from now on, considering all the injuries. Again, John Garcia is back, and Lewandowski will be back soon as well. So both his players are back, and boom, they're getting back into the 11. Hey, man, again, considering all the injuries we have, this is still a very strong team, a very solid team that could compete against most sides, right? It's not a matter of this team is completely washed or shit. This is still a very strong team. Now, the main concerning part is, obviously, depth. We don't have depth. That's the main concerning part. That's the main concerning part when it comes to Barcelona, is depth. We don't have players to come off the bench. When we look at our bench against Madrid, look at this bench that we had. Like, what is this? We brought in Araujo, Casado, Rudy, and Jera Martin. We brought in two defenders, a midfielder, and an 18-year-old attacker to come in against Real Madrid to change the game. We had no one. And then when we look at our bench, who the fuck? A 19-year-old goalkeeper. He's from the United. That's fire. 19-year-old goalkeeper. Another goalkeeper, Joffrey, who we haven't seen in a long time. A 17-year-old Dro. A 19-year-old Bernal, who just came back from Alicia. This is Ola Masia. Ola Masia on the bench. Who is this? Xavi Esparte? 17-year-old or 18-year-old. Jesus, bro. This is all Lamine Yamal's class right here. This is the class of Lamine Yamal that we called up. And Tony Fernandez, who, let's be honest, doesn't look the greatest, right? Like, he's had his moments, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced yet. Like, look at this. Look at this bench compared to the bench that they had to bring in. They brought in Brahim Diaz, Rodrigo, Carvajal, Ceballos, and Gonzalo, and fucking Fran Garcia. Why? Oh no, that's Gonzalo Garcia. Never mind. They brought all these players in, and then they also had Valamendi, Raúl Trent, Endrick, Mostantuono. They had other players too compared to us, right? So like, as much as we have a strong team here that is still able to compete, our bench is trash. Our bench is trash. Our depth is trash. So that's the main concerning part. But again, no excuses, bro. This team is good enough to compete. This team should be good enough to compete against any side. And I haven't been showing Juice Conde, my bad. But this team should be good enough to compete against any side, really. Like, we shouldn't have excuses. But man, you never know. You never know at this point. When it comes to Barcelona, a lot of concerns. Let me see if there's anything else I want to get into before I end this off. Joan Garcia, have we missed you? How we missed you, Joan Garcia. Look at this. Tommy Marquez. Okay. Fucking hell, bro. Both of these guys on the bench. Both of these guys out, man. It's so sad. Let's look at any Rashad news from recent. What's this? UEFA confirms Spain, Camp Nou, and England, Wembley, has expressed interest in holding the 2029 UCL final. Obviously, it has to be the Camp Nou. What the fuck? Who cares about Wembley? How many finals already been played in Wembley? Wasn't Wembley like literally 2 years ago when Real Madrid won it? That they already won it in Wembley. Why are we doing Wembley again? Hell no. Do the Camp Nou easily. That's political news. I don't really care about that. I mean, I saw this news come out. It says Carvajal apparently told Lamine Yamal, or Lamine Yamal apparently told Carvajal, see you in the return leg instead of see you in the tunnel. I don't know what to believe at this point. I don't really care about that shit. When it comes to Lamine Yamal's ego, I don't care. Now, this is another one that was interesting that I saw. Julian Osimhen Kane numerous links with Barcelona in recent days, following players and normal President Laporta love silence too. His favorite choice is but until Barcelona's a 1-1 rule, we can't dream of shit, right? But this was a name thrown out there, and obviously another name that's being thrown out there is Geserai, whatever, however you ever say his name, from Borussia Dortmund. If I'm picking between Osimhen or Geserai, I'm picking Osimhen every day, for a couple reasons. Osimhen, for one, isn't pushing 30 or isn't above 30, because I'm pretty sure Geserai is 30 already, or he's 29. All right, 29 years old. How Osimhen is what? 26, I think. 26 years old, right? Or he's going to turn 27 in December. All right, cool. End of December, he's turning 27. But look at the goal catalogs, bro. Look at the numbers that Osimhen has put up throughout his career, bro. Look at all these numbers. For Napoli was obviously his best, right? Look at all these numbers for Napoli. Geserai has some good numbers as well. His numbers aren't terrible. Pretty good numbers as well. But when I look at this, for one, I'm looking a little bit longevity as well. Who will last longer? I think Osimhen. I think the biggest problem with Osimhen and the possibility of even trying to sign him is obviously wages, because the reason he didn't sign for Chelsea is because this guy wanted a lot of money. I think he wanted like $350 a week, and I'm like, yeah, All right. And Chelsea didn't want to pay that. That's why he ended up going to Galatasaray. That's why he had a whole problem with Napoli and everything. But what is Osimhen's salary? Hold on. Let's check that. Let's get out of images first. What is Osimhen? I'm so bad with names. Osimhen salary 15 million per year. Okay. Weekly. Oh man, Galatasaray paid that much for him. Damn, that is crazy. They gave him what he wanted. Oh wow, Galatasaray has some bread then. But yeah, that was the main problem that was the main problem that Chelsea had. They didn't want to pay that amount for Osimhen. But honestly, for me, I take Osimhen. Osimhen is a prolific goal scorer. He's very physical. He's strong, and he'll get you goals. He'll bag you in goals. Girasai also will bag you goals if you give him a chance. But I just feel like on the ball, like Girasai, like I don't really like him. Like I'm saying that as a Barca fan, who last season he scored a hat trick on us and everything. He scored a lot of goals against us. You know, he was joint UCL goal scorer last season as well. But I don't know. Yes, he got the goals, but I wasn't fully convinced because I remember watching those games where he scored on us, and I'm like, bro, I know the striker's job is to score. I know that, but like, man, this guy, like, look on the ball. He looks so awful. He looks so bad. I know he has his moments, but I don't know. I'd rather opt for Osimhen. Honestly, if we can pick one, I'd rather opt for Osimhen. But Girasai, like I would say, sounds like the more realistic compared to him. Compared to fucking Osimhen, considering the wages and everything. So obviously the dream is Julian Alvarez. Obviously the dream would also be Kane. Not really dream, but like a great replacement as well. But man, like it says in the bottom. But until the club's one-on-one situation is sorted, it's too early to dream about anything. Yeah, man, man, I'm having like major doubts. What is it? John Garcia and Dani Olmo have returned field training. Meanwhile, Lewandowski's already going well. He aims for Elche. All right, I'm having major doubts that next summer we'll make any signings. I'm having major doubts because man, we've made no progression at all. If we can't even make midwinter transfers. I don't even want to think about next summer, bro. Like this is why when it comes to the Lamine Yamal situation right now that he's like having problems, this is why because I saw people arguing about this Lamine Yamal situation when it comes to should he get surgery or not? Should Hansi Flick continue to play him considering he's injured and everything? I think the reason Hansi Flick is playing him is because obviously we need a player like Lamine Yamal to influence the game for us. We need a player that can be a game changer like Lamine Yamal tends to be. And of course he relies on him, right? I think the other reason I would say is that if we go trophyless this season, I know for us fans it's going to be a matter of like, hey, we've been dealing with a lot of bullshit. Let's just restart. I know people have been saying like, hey, like my boy Jonas has been saying, hey, if it means Lamine Yamal gets surgery and he's out and we win nothing, that's perfectly fine if we're preserving Lamine Yamal. If we're not risking Lamine Yamal to be another Ansu Fati, basically, right? Obviously, we want Lamine Yamal for the long term rather than the short term, and I agree with that as well. I 100% agree with that. But us going trophyless after such a successful season is going to bring a lot of concerns. The revenue, the money coming in, a lot of the investments is going to have a lot of concerns. Hey, is this Barcelona? Did Barcelona really improve? Dude, can we really trust this team to really improve? Are they ever going to fix financial situations? Are they ever going to change things? Are they ever going to get better? A lot of these question marks are going to happen if we go trophyless this season. So I'm sure the board, as much as I know Laporta is smart to understand that Lamine Yamal is a major part for Barcelona for the next decade, he should definitely understand that. It's also a matter of like, hey, if we don't perform this season, in Laporta, I'm sure, and elections are coming up for Laporta as well. If he has a season where we go trophyless because we haven't been able to back, because one of the main reasons will be we haven't been able to back our manager. If we go trophyless, if we do bad this season, his job is at stake as well. His job is majorly at stake as well. So I'm sure Laporta will also, push Hansi Flick to keep playing Lamine Yamal, considering he's our major player. He's our most important player as well. So when it comes to this whole situation with Lamine Yamal, at the end of the day, I don't see him getting breaks until Lamine Yamal decides, I'm gonna get my surgery. I see him just continue to be playing, no rest, because we need him to play. That's basically how I see it at this point. And it sucks. It sucks because Lamine Yamal, I'm sure, needs rest. I'm sure he's tired. I'm sure he's gonna get called up for Spain and then in the international break as well. 3 international breaks in the last couple months. Wow. Because Spain really need to qualify for the World Cup. Like their route isn't easy as hell, but hey, whatever the case. But yeah, guys, a lot of question marks, a lot of things, a lot of conversations with Barcelona this week. But yeah, guys, this stream wasn't really planned. I just said let me just hop on and talk for a little bit. But I will be having more streams where I actually plan ahead and we're actually let you guys know what time I'm going live, just to chat. I will be live this Sunday for the Elche game. I'll be streaming the game, but yeah, this is just a little chat, quick little rant, quick little chat that we had for tonight. But yeah, guys, I will be ending it there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I will be back on Sunday to stream the game, to give my live reaction for the game, like I've been doing so far this season. And hopefully we get a dub. Hopefully we perform. Hopefully we get a dub. Hopefully we get to 3 points. And hopefully Madrid drops some points tomorrow against Valencia. But a lot of hope. A lot of hope. And promise. It's a bit doubtful. It's a bit doubtful so far. But yeah, guys, much love to all.